Today we're looking at how to use addition or subtraction to solve an equation. So we just saw the balance and kind of how that looks visually. But what we're going to first look at is solutions of equations, which is just a value that makes the equation true. So we're going to use the word solution essentially more than the word answer. So for example, if we have this equation, x plus 3 equals 7, if we said that x was 3, and we substituted that in there, 3 plus 3 is 6, so that does not equal 7. So that's not a solution. We could try it with 4. 4 plus 3 does equal 7, so that is a solution. And then with 5, 5 plus 3 equals 8, so again, that one's not a solution. So let's go ahead and try this down here. So what we're going to do is use our substitution. We're going to use substitution here to determine if a value is a solution. So in my first equation here, I have p plus 10 equals 38. So we want to say, well, if p equals 18, is that a solution? So we're going to substitute 18 in for p. I'm going to rewrite this. 18 plus 10. And then I'm just going to put kind of a question mark above my equal sign. 38. 18 plus 10 is 28. That does not equal 38, so I'm going to put a slash there. That means not equal. And we would say p equals 18 is not a solution. Both sides are not equal. So let's try that with letter B. 4y equals 56. Remember, this means 4 times y, so we're going to substitute 14 in for y. So when I rewrite this, I'm going to use parentheses. So it's 4 times 14, not 414, to determine if that equals 56. Well, 4 times 14, if I work through the mental math there, 4 times 10 is 40, and 4 times 4 is 16, and then I add those together, I do get 56. So that one checks out, and we would say y equals 14 is a solution. Okay, I want you to go ahead and pause the video and then try numbers 1 through 4 at the bottom. So substitute that 9 in there for a, add them, and see if it's a solution, and you would tell me a equals 9 is a solution or a equals 9 is not a solution. When you're done, you can unpause to check your work. Okay, go ahead and check your work on 1 through 4. And then we will turn the page. Okay, so now when we solve equations, we can use what's called inverse operations. So they're essentially operations that undo each other, like opposite operations. And in this case, we're looking at addition and subtraction. Those are inverse operations. So we have a couple of properties here. The addition property of equality, and I won't ask you to memorize these, but we just need to understand them. Just saying that when you add the same number to each side of an equation, it's going to keep the two sides equal. Kind of like with fractions or ratios, all those things we've worked with, when you add to both sides, it keeps it equal. And then same with the subtraction property of equality. When you subtract the same number from each side of an equation, they remain equal. So just like fractions, ratios, whatever we do to one side, we're going to do to the other. So let's go ahead and look at an example. Letter A, x minus 2 equals 6. So since I'm subtracting 2 here, I want to get rid of that 2 to get the variable by itself. So our goal here is to get the variable by itself. So we have a solution, x equals something. So we're starting with these simple one-step equations just so that we can work our way up into 2 or 3 or 4-step equations. So if I want to get rid of this minus 2, I'm going to do the opposite and add 2. So then I'm going to add 2 to the other side. So that's going to cancel out these, so I'm left with x equals 6 plus 2, 8. So x equals 8 is my solution. Over here, letter B, you'll notice the variable's on the right side. That's okay. It doesn't matter what side the variable's on. It doesn't have to be on a certain side. But I'm subtracting 7, so I'm going to do the opposite. And I'm going to add 7 there so that that minus 7 is gone. So then I have to add 7 to the other side. So 18 plus 7 becomes 25. So x equals 25 would be my solution. Go ahead and pause your video and try 5, 6, and 7, please. Okay, so k equals 4, n equals 14, and 21 equals r. All right, let's try a couple more, but we're going to use subtraction. So if I have x plus 2 equals 9, again, I want to get that x by itself. So I need to get rid of this plus 2. I'm going to do the opposite and subtract 2. So then I have to subtract 2 on the other side of my equal sign as well. So now I'm left with x equals, and then 9 minus 2 is 7. So my solution is x equals 7. This one down here, I have 26 equals 11 plus x. I want to get x by itself. So to get rid of that 11, I'm going to subtract 11 here, and then subtract 11 here. So I'm left with 15 equals x. My solution is x equals 15. Go ahead and pause your video and try 8 through 10. All right, I got s equals 9, 3 equals y, and m equals 7. All right, let's go through a word problem here, similar to what we did yesterday, but this time we're going to add an additional step, which is solving. So your parents give you $20 to help you buy the new pair of shoes shown. You can see that they're $59.95. And then after you buy the shoes, you have $5.50 left. We're going to write the equation and then solve it to find out how much money you had before your parents gave you $20. So we're going to take our starting amount plus the amount your parents gave you and then we're going to subtract, so minus, the cost of the shoes. And that's going to be the amount left. So remember, when we define the variable, we're going to say, well, what do we want a variable to be? I'm just going to say x. You can choose any variable you want. And what we don't know is the starting amount, so we're going to say let x be the starting amount. From here, we can write our equation. The starting amount, which we don't know, plus the amount your parents gave you, that's the 20, minus the cost of the shoes is our $59.95. That's going to equal the amount left, which is $5.50. So there's our equation. We're going to go ahead and solve it, though. So the first thing I want to do is get rid of that decimal, not $59.95. So I'm going to add $59.95 here, and then on this side as well. So then I'm left with x plus 20. I'm going to get rid of this minus $59.95 by adding. So now I have equals, and I take $5.50 and add the $59.95 to that. You'll end up with $65.45. From here, I still don't have x by itself, so now I need to get rid of this plus 20, so I'm going to do the opposite and subtract. So now I'm left with x, and then $65.45, if I take 20 from that, I have $45.45. So my complete sentence would say that you had $45.45 before your parents gave you money. Okay, go ahead and pause the video and try the word problem at the bottom. So come up with your equation and then go ahead and solve it. Okay, so if you eat 8 blueberries and your friend eats 11 from a package and there's 23 left, okay, here is the number in the package minus the 8 you ate minus the 11 your friend ate, and you're left with 23. So I added 8 to the other side first. You could start with 11, that does not matter. And then I added the 11, so I'm left with 42. So there are 42 blueberries in a full package.